Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Eglips Cross Barbie Misty Velvet Tints. I picked these up with the rest of the Barbie collection. There is also a eyeshadow palette, which is super cute, and a compact, like a little powder pack, which is adorable. I saw the tints first and I kind of wasn't that wowed by them because the colour range is, for me, a little bit lacking, but I did end up picking them up because I did want the collection. Plus the packaging is so cute and that's definitely what drew me in the first place. For the Eglips Cross Barbie collection, I cannot find any product description, so I don't know what the claims are for this. Aside from that, it's supposed to be a velvety tint because that's in the description. That's pretty much it. So the packaging of these tints is really beautiful. They're in a pink to white gradiented container, and then they have the Barbie logo on the top, which is a soft gold. The Barbie logo actually comes off with the top of the tint, which I think is really neat. And then they have a little doe foot applicator, which isn't too interesting. It is more of the squarer type. It reminds me a lot of the Innisfree applicators. There are 4 colours in the collection and they are not really that inventive. Like, there are 2 reddy colours and then 2 browny colours. So if you don't like reds or browns, then there really isn't that much in this collection for you. So number 1 is called Barbie Baby, which is like a pretty pinkish red. I'm not going to do a gradient with these because they are really pigmented and I don't want to ruin the application of the other ones, so I'm just going to do a full lip cover, but you can make these gradiented if you want to. They're like super pigmented though, so do so at your own risk. They don't really have a light colour to make really cohesive gradients with, for me personally. So this is how Barbie Baby looks. I really like this one. It's probably my favourite out of the whole bunch, just because it's a little bit more pink. It's a very bright sort of like strawberry pink though, so I think that this one is really pretty. So this is number 1, Barbie Baby. Number 2 is called Strawberry Fizz, and this one is a little bit more orange toned or red. So this is how Strawberry Fizz looks. Again, another really pretty red, but you can definitely see that this one is the more orangey kind of tone. I think that it looks quite nice. I do tend to use like more of the product of this one because if you share it out, it looks a little bit kind of like on the brown side, which I don't personally prefer, but I do think that it looks really pretty like this. So this is number 2, Strawberry Fizz. Number 3 is called Dry Jujube. I don't know if that's like a, I don't know, I'm reading this off the Miss Beauty Korea website. I don't know what, I'm pronouncing it like Jujube as in like the drag queen Jujube, but I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to be saying it or not. This one is kind of like a dusty pink. So this one isn't one of my favorites, but it's also not one that I actually dislike. It's like just a little bit more brown and dusty than I would prefer for a lipstick, but I do think that it looks nice. It is kind of like pinkish, but it's like more nude, more dark. So I guess it's like more of a grown-up sort of color. I don't get a huge amount of wear out of it, but it's not bad. I don't hate it or anything like that. I just guess I'd have to be in like a very certain mood to want to wear it. So this is number 3, Dry Jujube. The last one is number 4, which is called Broken Brick, which, surprise, surprise, is kind of like a bricky brown, red-ish kind of color. I take back the red part. There really is no red in this at all. Really, I don't know. Maybe a little? But it's definitely like a bricky brown color. It's not my favorite. I don't really get any use out of it. I do think that it does look quite nice though. Like I could see myself if I was wearing like orangey tones, like autumnal, I could see myself wearing something that's kind of like this. So I don't hate it or anything like that, but it's definitely not got as much wear as the other ones have. So I would say out of the collection, it's probably my least favorite color, just because it's more of that browny sort of shade. So oranges and browns aren't usually my favorite, but starting to come around just a little bit. So this is number 4, Broken Brick. So for these tints, I'm kind of on the fence. I do like them, but I don't like them that much. Like, I don't think that these are any better than any other tints that I do have. In fact, I feel like I have a lot of tints that are better than these ones. But the packaging is very cute and they go with the rest of the collection. So I am tempted to keep a few of them, but not all of them, just because I don't need to hoard products. 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 My 2 favorites, of course, are number 1 and number 2, which are both of the red colors. So number 1 is that more pinky red, and then number 2 is more orangey red. So I can definitely see myself using those ones a bit. The number 3 and number 4, which are the 2 brownie colors, the brownie pink and the brick brown. I did try to use the brownie pink a little bit more so that I was sort of more like really trying to use it. But every time I use it, I was just kind of like, meh, like I don't love it. really at all. And the bricky brown I just never really liked because I don't like brown. It's not really bricky brown, it's kind of like an orangish brown, I guess. So that's kind of like the biggest downside for me for the collection, is that it's just not very broad in terms of the colors. Like if you don't like red and you don't like brown, you don't have any other options here. The formula I think is nice, but it is not amazing. It is a really nice soft velvet formula. It feels nice on the lips, but it does get a bit drying after some time. I also feel like their longevity is not amazing. They're not super long lasting. I feel like after a few hours I definitely need to reapply to get the color back up, and then you'll definitely need to reapply after eating or drinking anything. So that is about it. I feel like these, they could have had so much potential. Like, could you imagine this kind of like tint? I'm smelling them also. I cannot figure out what that smell is. Can you imagine like this packaging with like baby pastel colors and things like that? I just don't really, I guess like if you put these with the eyeshadow palette, there's a row of pinks, which these ones would go with, the two reds, and then there is a row of browns, which these ones would go with, but they're not really very Barbie themed, are they? So I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed, mostly because the packaging is so cute and I would have liked to keep all of them, but again, I do not need to hoard products, so I will not be keeping all of them. So what do you guys think? Are you a little bit disappointed with the color range of this one? I guess if you like browns, you're probably not, but if you don't really like those colors, you probably are. But let me know your guys' thoughts anyway. I would definitely recommend these to anyone who is really obsessed with Barbie or anything that's cute and pink, because they are adorably packaged. But yeah, just have a look at the colors and see if you like the colors online or in this video, and then that'll give you a better judgment there. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!